black girl portrayed on TV as not just a genius, but a leader, a good friend, and a musical prodigy all at once. Here's where Ant Farm made history and continues to be a show that's legacy remains to this day. What's going on, you all? I hope you're all doing well. Yes, I am doing a deep dive. This is something that we haven't really done very much in this channel. We've dabbled there in the past, but I thought I'd do something, you know, a little bit different. I got this idea from the TikToks that I've been seeing recently because, you know, it is Halloween, it is spooky season. Oh, which way? Okay, it is currently spooky season. Today is October 22nd as I'm filming. I have no idea when you guys are going to see this, but hopefully before Halloween. And people are saying that China Anne is essentially the Mariah Carey of Halloween. I mean, her song Calling All the Monsters from Ant Farm gets replayed every single year on Halloween, especially with the surge of TikTok and many people using that song to make videos and show off their costumes. And I think there's also like a dance for it, and there's also a remixed version. So it's popular on TikTok. And it kind of made me think, you know what, China was the moment. Like, she still is the moment, but honestly, she was such a, like, I don't want to say like a phase, but she seriously was a really big inspiration for so many kids back in the early 2010s, you know, a black girl on TV having her own TV show, and then she went on and she did Descendants and Black Lightning and so many other projects there. So she seriously is someone that deserves their flowers. So China, if you're watching, hey girl, you're amazing, and you've really you really set the tone. You really did some incredible things, and it's so cool to see that every single year on Halloween you're getting your flowers. So I thought, why not take this opportunity to talk about the impact that she had on Disney at the time, and up until this day, how she has kind of, you know, flourished into not just the Queen of Halloween, but just a cool person. Should we get into the history of Ant Farm? Why not? Let's go into this microcosm go. I don't even know what the word is. Let's go into this very, very niche but interesting element of television history, shall we? Let's do it. Calling All the Monsters today in this video. I think in TV history, it is kind of known and understood that black people are often giving token characters. They've often, you know, put to the side as the best friend or the funny comedic relief character.
I know you said about Jake and everything, but is you gonna eat that? Girl, you need to call Gucci 911. We got a fashion emergency. I can see it now. You and Jake and me and your fine brother CJ. Hey!
There's a difference between tokenism and representation. People want your face in the place, but they don't want you to shift the atmosphere, right? Utilizing people who may not affiliate with that title, but are doing the work, and inviting them to speak. Because when you have people speak, it is honoring that they're not just coming to receive, but they have something to.
And I think that has kind of changed over time as, you know, life has progressed, social life has progressed, and, you know, things are changing, which is really positive. So at the time, this was around the 2010s. So, you know, black representation had been improving in many TV shows. Of course, the first major black TV character is Raven. That's a Raven, a trailblazer show that actually didn't even just impact Disney, but inspired many other networks to also have black leads in their networks as well, because they found it to be very profitable and successful. That's Raven was the first ever Disney Channel show to reach 100 episodes, so it was super popular. To this day, I think it's the most known Disney show. Okay, could be wrong. I think maybe Hannah Montana has kind of taken that spot.
This is how you do the head thing. Yeah, that's right. I went there.
But it is still a very well received and loved show by many people. Disney saw this and wanted to, I wouldn't say replicate it, because the shows are different. Like China's is about being a talented kid, child music prodigy, and Raven's was about her having visions and being psychic. But I think it is still that element of, let's put a kid in the front of the show and have them have something really different and quirky about them that makes them unique. And yeah, that formula works well. And so Disney saw that. They saw China, how she can sing and dance and do everything so well. They were like, you know what, let's do this again. So the show was created by Dan Signa, I want to say. I could be saying that completely wrong. And he was apparently the genius behind The Sweet Life on Deck, which is also a great show that I really enjoyed. And yeah, we mentioned that China was cast after the pilot and they jiggered it up. And then the show officially came out in May 2011 and quickly became a hit. We're going to be breaking this deep dive down into different parts. We're going to start, of course, with a little bit of history and then just, you know, work our way through, okay? Part 1, the beginnings. Anne Farm was more than just a popular show on the Disney Channel. It launched the careers of some very notable people, including Miss China Anne McClain, who was a great actress who already had acting background behind her before she started on the Disney Channel. She was in the Adam Sandler movies Grown Ups, and she was also in Tyler Perry's film Daddy's Little Girls, I believe that it's called. And she also guest starred in Hannah Montana.
Hi, I'm Isabel, and I'm confused. I used to like carrots, but then you said you hated them, so then I hated them. Then you said you liked them, so do I like them now or not? Of course, carrots are wonderful. Well, why'd you say you hated them? Were you lying? Well, Isabel, that...
And Wizards of Waverly Place. I remember the first time I ever saw her was on Wizards of Waverly Place. She was in the Angels vs. Devils episode. Oh my god, that episode was so good. Like, I'm literally thinking back, I'm like, I gotta rewatch it because that was like, it was a 2-part special, I think. It was really, really good, yeah. So she had a little bit of acting backgrounds already, and she was, of course, singing on YouTube and things like that. So, and she was also on an episode of Jonas, which was a series that Disney did about the Jonas Brothers.
Live your life in the fast lane, not that bad. No one can complain. Who's to say that we won't keep it real?
So Anne Farm was more than just a popular show. It was groundbreaking. It addressed many different topics and had very different plot lines, which was interesting at the time. It was a unique show that Disney hadn't really done before, you know, dabbling into the concept of child prodigies. And I'm quite surprised Disney had never thought of that before, because all of their actresses and actors on there are prodigies. Like, to be that young and to be able to remember so many lines, I couldn't even remember like two times 3 when I was little. So to have so many kids that are so talented and are able to, you know, basically have jobs, because acting is a job, I've always thought it's really, really impressive, even though, you know, they have said it has its downsides being child stylist and all glitz and glam, but it's still very impressive. So the fact that Disney, you know, took that idea and said, let's do a show, is very cool. At the heart of it was China Anne McClain, a young black girl leading the series, playing a role called China Park. So she obviously had her own name titling the show, very similar to That's a Raven. Raven was Raven in the show, you know. So I think Disney maybe saw that and wanted to do that again. And the role was also created for China because apparently, according to the show's history, That's So Raven influence. China had initially auditioned for an earlier pilot for a different show that was called Jack and Janet Save the Planet. It didn't end up airing, so they created a new show tailored for her talents. I think I remember hearing something similar to Raven auditioned for a show called Absolutely Psychic.
I just finished a pilot for Disney called Absolutely Psychic, and we're hoping to get that picked up.
And what would you play in that?
I play one of the leads, along with 3 other people, Chanel Workman and Orlando Brown, and we're these 3 in a middle school, and my friend is psychic, so we have to go around and try to find things that she sees in her visions or whatever. It's really fun. They compare it to kind of like a Lucy and Ethel type of thing.
Which was what That's Raven was like initially called when it was first in development, and she actually auditioned to be the side character, but they loved Raven so much they decided to reconceptualize the show and title it after her, and then switch her to the main character, and then they ended up having Annalise play, I forgot her last name, Annalise play Chelsea, and then that's kind of how that came together. So Disney is, you know, is replicating things in different ways, which kind of makes sense for showbiz. Her role was significant in showcasing a talented, confident black girl in a major TV role, something rarely seen on mainstream networks at the time. Part 3, the Halloween legacy. Now we're going to get into the legacy of Anne Farm, you know, Halloween and Calling All the Monsters. So, Calling All the Monsters was obviously a song performed by China Anne McClain for Anne Farm in 2011. It was produced by Nicholas Molinda and Joaquin Pearson. Do you guys need to know who produced the song? I don't think so. And who also co-wrote the song was a couple of other people. It was released as the album's second single on September 20th, 2011. So that's also near Halloween season, which makes complete sense. Through Walt Disney Records, musically the song's prominent dance pop and electric pop that runs through a club-oriented beat, and the lyrics are Halloween-themed, speaking of dancing with the monsters. And this also mentions the song being inspired by Michael Jackson's Jackson's Thriller, which makes complete sense because I think Thriller would be the anthem of Halloween. If there has to be an anthem of Halloween, it is Thriller. But I think Calling All the Monsters is going to go down in history as being just as much of an anthem, especially because so many of the younger crowd, people who didn't even watch Ant Farm, are like dancing to the song on TikTok. It's so fun to see. The song was met with a generally positive reviews from critics, the majority of them praising its playful nature and dance-oriented sound. The song currently, let's see, because I remember when I was little, it had like over 1 million. I remember it being one of the first things I saw that had like 10 million viewers. I was like, oh my god, so many people are seeing this, it's going viral. Like, okay, let's see. It has over 60 million views. It was that song back in the day. Everybody and their mum was dancing to this, like, and it still has its legacy to this day. To this day, it's still playing on TikTok. It was first heard on the series' first season Halloween themed episode, which I do plan to rewatch. I always rewatch Disney Halloween stuff around this time because it's just it's Monstober. Like, guys, it's Monstober. Where is Monstober? Why did Monstober end? I'm sorry. Which premiered on October 7th, 2011 in America. And more than 2 weeks after the single was released, the song was performed by China in the episode. Yeah, the whole episode was filmed around China being a Medusa and like trying to seduce this boy.
Huh? What?
From what I can remember, I don't know if that's correct. I loved when she performed. Like, that was like the best part of the episode when she would perform. Do you remember the Tonight I'm Unstoppable? And I Tonight I'm Unstoppable, something like that. And I also remember Tonight I'm Unstoppable. Anyway, features her sisters. So her sisters, they were like this. They were like, you're doing something, girl, we're gonna be there to support you, and that's what family's for. Lauren and Sierra guest starred in the music video. They're all in costume, looking for a location for a Halloween party, and they're standing out in the house where China thinks the party's happening. She goes inside, Dance from the Monsters comes out, and yeah, it says here it was inspired by Thriller and Superstition by Raven Simone. So I told you, it's like so inspired by Raven. Raven really was the girl. I'm gonna do a video on Raven. I'm gonna see how this one does, because I haven't really done Disney Channel stuff on my channel. I'm usually in the pop culture space, but Disney is like super important for pop culture. I feel like it always will be. It did amazing. I want to talk a little bit about its TikTok resurgence, because I feel like that's the whole reason why I'm here anyway. Calling All the Monsters is still super relevant on TikTok. People be dancing to it, people be having fun to this song. And yeah, I don't know if I want to talk a little bit about where the cast of Ant Farm are now. So let's read this BuzzFeed article. It's officially October 1st, so you know what that means. It's officially spooky season. Time to watch horror movies, eat pumpkin flavored snacks, and listen to some haunting tunes. From the moment the clock strikes 12 on October 1st, I exclusively listen to Halloween themed music. One of my faves being Calling All the Monsters by China Anne McClain. Part 4. Where are they now? Since this song came out, China has been living her best life, which includes starring in a little film called Descendants, which is of course cute again. The cast of Ant Farm has continued to work in entertainment. For example, China Anne McClain has appeared in Descendants 3 and 2, and she's also like in her girl group. I'm not sure if they have any more recent songs out, which is called 3, which I mentioned. Other cast members, like memorable guest members, include Zendaya, of course. She played Sequoia. Remember the dad? Sequoia!
What's the matter? Is everything okay?
Dad, look! What? No, weird, right?
It's Sequoia! Sequoia's in our house! Sequoia's in our house!
She played in Ant Farm as well, of course. I mean, all the most Zendaya is now. She's engaged to Tom Holland. She's in Spider-Man. She's in Euphoria. She's in Dune. She's in another. She's on a rocket. She's not even in Earth anymore. She's just on her own cool, super cool lane. She's Zendaya. Come on. JT Austin, Max. Is he? He's not even in the. What is this? Anyway, I'm trying to see where the Ant Farm cast is, and they're telling me about the Wizards cast. Like, for a voiceover. But yeah, just consider them all doing incredible things and still acting and still. But I do know that the guy who played Fletcher, so Jake Short, who played Fletcher in Ant Farm, does have a podcast with Bradley Stephen Perry. That's so funny how I can remember that name. Someone who's very good with names. Anyway, he was Gabe and Good Luck Charlie, and they have a podcast together where they talk about lots of different things, but mainly about acting. So that's where he is right now, and I'm sure they're all still acting. Sierra McCormick, it looks like she's still acting. Jessie as well. She was Creepy Connie, remember that? Carlin Jeffrey, he played China's brother. He is now 32 years old. Oh my goodness. I mean, it makes sense because I'm 22, so. And I was like watching this when I was like, what, 6, 7? So yeah, I don't know where he is. There's nothing about him. Hopefully he's doing okay. Next we have Stephanie Scott, who played Lexi Reed in the show. So stunning, by the way. She's 28. Looks like she's still acting. There's some things on the Instagram. Next we have Ali DeBerry. She's so gorgeous. Who played the friend Paisley. Yeah, she has kids. She's a mom. A mommy. Looks like she's focusing more about being a mom now than acting, which is fair play. Next we have Aiden Minks, who was Angus, 25. Oh, he's so young. Looks like, I think maybe he's acting. Just consider everybody acting. Everybody is acting. Everybody is still in their bag. And we have my favorite in the show, which was the dad, Vanessa Mitchell. He used to also do like guest appearances on talk shows and stuff. So I've seen him around, not in real life, but like I've seen him like in social media. He was a cast member on NBC's comedy Saturday Night Live. He's a dad, doing the dad thing, doing the presenting thing. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. Thank you so much for listening to me rant about Ant Farm, which is a very small element, a small niche, if you will. I just thought, like, why not? It's Halloween. China Anne McClain's the queen of Halloween. Uma, the queen of the spooky season. Why not talk about what launched her into superstardom, which is Ant Farm? If you enjoyed this video, of course, let me know in the comments down below, because I don't really talk about Disney anymore on here, because I just assume that people don't really care about it. But it just crossed my mind. I was a huge Disney fan, still am. Maybe not as much with Disney Channel because like I'm too old for it. But you know, I still enjoy watching it, rewatching it. I rewatch Raven all the time. I rewatch Wizards all the time. Those are my favorites, my 2 favorites. But yeah, super cool to go back in time and see what all of the Ant Farm people are up to now. Let me know if you like this video, like, comment and subscribe, and also let me know who's on your Disney Channel Mount Rushmore, and let me know what your favorite Disney Channel show was growing up, and if it's still the same, because some of the shows did not age well. Let's be real, they did not age well. My favorite Disney Channel shows are Wizards Overly Plays and I want to say Raven. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe. Bye. I mean, you're clearly curious because you tapped on the video. So we're calling all the monsters today in this video.